Today is Tuesday, Parashat Emor, and this coming Shabbat we're going to be reading the fourth chapter of Pirkei Avot. We'll explain one of the Mishnayot in Pirkei Avot in this fourth chapter. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, this is Mishnah number Yud Gimel 13. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Heve Zahir beTalmud, shekigegat Talmud ola zadon. Rabbi Yehuda used to say, be very careful and meticulous in learning Torah or in teaching Torah. Don't be careless or superficial, because if you're careless and superficial and you're not meticulous, then that will bring a person that even a careless misinterpretation will be considered as you had done it as a willful transgression. In other words, you cannot claim that it's not your fault, you made a mistake. If you didn't apply yourself in learning and really analyzing the subject matter that you're learning in terms of halacha, especially if you're going to give halachot to other people. You cannot be careless, because if you're careless, it's as if you were doing it willfully to come to the wrong conclusions. So that's why this Mishnah in Rabbi Yehuda teaches us to be very careful, to analyze, to spend your time, to not learn just superficially, but learn in depth the halachot and in learning Torah in general. Rabbi Shimon Omer, Rabbi Shimon used to say, there are three crowns. Keter Torah, the crown of Torah, which is the crown of a Torah scholar. The crown also indicates that we have to respect them, to give them honor. And that's an important crown of a Talmid Chacham, of a crown that a Torah scholar has. Keter Kehuna, and the crown of priesthood. A Kohen, we have an obligation to respect them. We call them first to go up to the Torah. If we're sitting around a meal, we honor the Kohen with the Birkat Mazon. We sing the Zimun. There are many ways to honor the Kohanim, and that's a kind of a crown. Cheter Malchut, and there's a crown of kingship. The Pasuk says, Som tasim alecha melech. You should have put a king. In other words, that the king is someone to be respected, to be honored. And so these three, whether it's a Torah scholar or a Kohen or a king, we have to show them respect. And this is what is meant by, symbolized by the crown. But if we were to compare these three crowns, a Kohen can have that crown only if he's born to a father who's a Kohen. A king, we have a tradition that David HaMelech, from his descendants, his offspring will be kings, and therefore that's something that you cannot just decide that you want to be king. It's something that will go by inheritance from father to son, whether it's a Kohen or a king. But in the case of Torah, Torah is something that you earn. You earn by investing yourself in learning, and in a way, the crown of Torah is even more important than the crown of kingship and the crown of Kohen. There is a midrash that quotes Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai that says there are three vessels in the Mishkan or Beit HaMikdash that have a crown. It's Mizbeach HaZahav, Mizbeach of the Ketoret, where the incense was put on every day. The Shulchan, the table that had Lechem HaPanim on it, had also a crown. And also the Aron, the ark where the Torah tablets were kept, had also a crown. So the Mizbeach HaKetoret, the altar of the incense, represents the crown of the Kohanim. The Shulchan had a crown, represents the crown of Malchut, of kingship, because it has to do with abundance and something that is more associated with a king. And the crown of the ark represents the Torah. Amongst all those three, what is the most important is, of course, the crown of Torah with the crown of the ark, because after all, the ark was put in the Holy of Holies, in the holiest place of the Mishkan or Beit HaMikdash. But the end of this Mishnah says, V'cheter Shem Tov ole al gabehem. But the crown of good reputation, of a good name, surpasses them all. Because when you have a good name, a good reputation, that's something that will actually help each one of these three crowns. If you're a Torah scholar, but not with a good reputation, or a king without a good reputation, or a Kohen without a good reputation, then you will not deserve the honor that would be coming to you. So Shem Tov, a good reputation, a good name, is something that is very important and that surpasses them all. In other words, all these three crowns that you mentioned before would need the Keter Shem Tov to be able to really be fully respected and honored. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.